This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. We have some fog out there this morning, but it looks like a sunny day is on the way on this Thursday, May 19th.
Now at 6 o'clock, we're tracking the search for a missing Egyptian plane that has reportedly crashed with dozens on board.
Lots of questions there, and we'll have the latest. And concern over a transgender bathroom bill has an eastern Kentucky community looking to take its own action.
He will be wearing blue, but what shade? A top basketball prospect is announcing his big decision today.
Still see some of that fog, low-lying fog there on the ground early this morning. That's going to be a problem for some of us, especially some of that dense fog down south, so just keep that in mind. Looking across the region temperature-wise, we're in the 40s. It's a little bit of a chilly start, but afternoon looks great. I'm going to show you that and when the rain moves back in for your Friday into your weekend coming up.
And a major international story leads our news.
Yes, it does. Search and rescue teams are looking for an Egypt Air flight that disappeared from radar this morning.
The flight took off from Paris, but it vanished minutes after entering Egyptian airspace. WKYT's Mark Barber is tracking down the details. Mark, we understand at this point it is being called a crash. What do we know?
Good morning, Bill. Well, we have learned that this plane did crash into the Mediterranean Sea. Egyptian officials are now trying to figure out if it crashed because of a mechanical failure or because of a terror attack. We know there were 3 security officers on this flight, but aviation officials say it is still just too early to know why the plane crashed into the sea. Take a look. This is new video into our newsroom in just the past 10 minutes. You can see worried families waiting at Cairo's airport, hoping to learn their missing loved ones survived the crash. While officials have not said where the plane went down yet, we are following several unconfirmed reports that the plane crashed into the sea more than 130 miles off the Greek island of Carpathos. Special teams with the Egyptian Armed Forces are now searching the area where the Egypt Air Flight 804 went missing. The plane that took off from Paris last night was supposed to land in Cairo 8 hours ago. The flight vanished over the Mediterranean when it was just 40 minutes away from the city. Aviation officials say they heard from the pilot 10 minutes before the plane disappeared, but they never received a distress call. There were 66 people on board, including 1 child and 2 infants. We have learned there were not any Americans on the plane. Egypt's prime minister and the minister of civil aviation are both at the crisis center in Cairo's airport this morning. They're expected to provide an update to the search for this missing plane in an hour. Bill, Michelle.
All right, Mark Barber, thank you very much, and keep us updated. And here is a story that has a lot of people talking here in Kentucky. Letcher County wants to be exempted from potential federal transgender bathroom regulations. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is at our live desk to explain that story. Caitlin?
Bill, the new federal regulation isn't sitting well with some in Letcher County. Leaders want people to use a restroom that matches the gender on their birth certificate and not their gender identity. Letcher County isn't the only county to speak out after federal guidance opened the door to transgendered people using public restrooms that matched their gender identity. The U.S. Department of Justice sued the state of North Carolina for passing a law restricting transgender bathroom access. Members of the Letcher County Fiscal Court want to know if they could pass a law exempting them from potential federal law surrounding bathroom access. The board voted to have the county attorney do some research and see what can be done.
I think they could be killings. I know I wouldn't like it if I seen them coming in with my granddaughters into a restroom or to a shower or for a rec center. If they come in something like that, I think it could be. I think it could lead into killings. I don't think people are going to stand by and let it happen.
If the fiscal court passes a bathroom law, it would affect every county-owned building. Not all in Letcher County have taken a stance against the new federal guidance. We'll hear from those who are actually more than open to it coming up in our next half hour. At the live desk, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now, we will be in a Clark County courtroom later this morning when a man accused of causing a deadly apartment fire heads back to court. A grand jury indicted Jackie Heisel Jr. on 3 counts of second-degree manslaughter. After the fire in March, he told us he had been drinking and smoking in his apartment when his oxygen tank caught fire. 3 people died in the huge blaze, including Heisel's son. We will also be in Owsley County today, where we could hear testimony in the case against Lynette McQuinn. She's accused of killing her parents, John and Ada McQuinn, in their home near Boonville.
Also this morning, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly fire in Harlan County. The fire damaged a home on Highway 413 not far from the town of Harlan. Police say firefighters found 25-year-old Jerry Langley dead inside the home. An autopsy has been scheduled to find out what caused his death. A fire that destroyed one Lexington home and damaged 4 others nearby is raising a lot of questions about how homes are built in the city. Tuesday's fire on Stansbury Cove quickly spread because firefighters say neighboring homes were built so close together. It's become common in Lexington for homes to be built, in some cases, less than 10 feet apart. The city says builders are trying to meet the need for new homes while still preserving rural lands.
There is the ongoing demand for single-family housing, and in order to accommodate that and still provide housing that is reasonably affordable, it really needs to be built in a different way than it has been in the past.
Since 2006, regulations have required new homes to have a fire-rated wall if they're built within 5 feet of the property line. But the homes damaged in Tuesday's fire were built in 2005.
So it is decision day. The top unsigned basketball prospect in the nation will announce his college choice today. Marquise Bolden has reportedly narrowed his list down to Duke and Kentucky. The Texas big man told us at the McDonald's All-American game that he thinks he could fit in nicely with Kentucky's recruiting class. Most experts have Kentucky and Duke in the top 2 spots for best recruiting class for the upcoming season. Bolden will make his big announcement today at 2:30.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Well, what about my big announcement, huh? Finally have sunshine in the forecast. That's exactly what we need, and that is exactly what everybody's been wanting. I've heard it on Facebook. I've heard it on Twitter. I've heard you guys request, and you got it. There you go. I'm your favorite meteorologist now, right? Visibility issues across east and southern Kentucky. That is your best bet to see some of these airport readings at 3 miles or less. That's going to be a problem this morning in some spots as you're traveling. Go up Maysville Road, the AA highway, work your way back down 460 and Highway 60 back toward the east. Mountain Parkway is not going to be a good go at it either as you're traveling early this morning. So just keep in mind, these are areas that we're going to see a lot of fog this morning. Now, there's no fog advisory out, but it's kind of patchy. It just jumps from spot to spot. When I walked in this morning, it actually was pretty foggy out and about. And now Lexington, you can see it's not that foggy, just some patchy fog here and there. But look at Jackson. It's a really neat shot. That shows you where the fog lays, down toward the surface, and now you'll have plenty of sunshine just above that. So once that fog lifts around 8 or 9 a.m. For most spots, then you're going to see plenty of sunshine. The rest of the day, boring forecast. What I always say, boring is good. 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. You got to love it. Let's go off into tomorrow and talk about what's going to be going on. Here's 7 a.m. Nothing really happening. We get in through your morning hours. Still pretty dry during your morning hours. Only a small chance of rain during that time. Watch as we get into the afternoon, though. Here comes that rain flying on in here. And it's going to be spotty around central, north, and western areas. Not picking up too much rain during that time. But east and southeast, you guys are looking at from Friday into your Saturday, 1 to 2 inches of rain. And that's a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So we got to keep that in mind. We head throughout your evening hours on Friday. Still some spotty rain out and about. There will be some dry spots here and there. But like I was talking about, the farther east and south that you are, the better likelihood of picking up this heavy amounts of rain. And this is picking up on that pretty well. 1 to about 2 inches anywhere from Prestonsburg down to Howard Rogers Parkway, work your way down into the mountainous regions, and then go off toward Lexington. 0.21. So it just shows you that if you're off toward the eastern zones, southeastern zones, that is the best bet, Bill, to actually pick up on some of this very heavy rain. But remember, it is spotty. You will get breaks here and there, and then we head towards your Saturday. It's mostly morning. Still can't rule out a chance by the afternoon, but most of it is your Friday into Saturday morning. Here comes more rain, right? I told somebody on Facebook and Twitter, I'm vetoing this R word. I'm not going to do it anymore until tomorrow.
The trouble is, vetoes can be overridden, and they
Yes,
have been,
yes,
right? I tell you what,
that is for sure.
It has been a rainy period, and it just looks like
3 weeks. You're right.
Hopefully we get out of this coming up next week.
Let's cross our fingers, right?
Let's do that. 6:09 is our time. It's great to have you with us this morning. We want to check traffic for you in the fog. Let's go out to Officer Don and check what's happening on the roads. Good morning.
Good morning. Of course, just talking about the fog could reduce visibility in places, so be careful on the way in. Just check things across the Clays Ferry Bridge. No major issues right now coming in from Richmond to Lexington. There is a stalled car in the inner loop of New Circle near Meadow Lane. It's blocking the right lane right now, the inner loop. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what's happening in real time. As far as Lexington traffic flow so far, it's light. And we're looking good coming in from Clark County on 64, also Versailles Road across the county line. Drive times this morning holding their own with no wrecks in the way other than the fog. No significant issues to deal with. So we're okay from Nicholasville, dealing with about 15 minutes now. Georgetown's taking 16, and Paris, you're looking at about a 20-minute ride. Of course, we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you.
All right, and some early hints of daylight already out there this morning. So if the day is off and running, it is great to have you with us on WKYT on this Thursday morning.
Yes, it is getting heated on the Hill. Why there's so much debate about funding the fight against Zika.
And a dramatic rescue caught an officer's dash cam here. You can see it, what happened. It's amazing. That and more coming up on WKYT this morning. We're back in just a bit.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line. Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
Mothers can donate breast milk online and they can get it for free. It's a growing trend, but is it safe?
You would not walk up to an absolute stranger on the street and say, "Give me a unit of blood."
Breast milk donations tonight at 6 on WKYT.
Spring is in full bloom. That means it's time to give your home a makeover. From bedroom closets, kitchen pantries, mudrooms, garages, and more, Closets by Design does it all. Call us today for a free in-home design consultation. Get organized with Closets by Design.
It's not too big and it's not too small.
Chevrolet's crossovers come in 3 sizes: Trax, Equinox, and Traverse.
Who wants to sit in it?
I do.
Shotgun.
Oh, wow.
This car matches me. I like this.
It's a perfect fit.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagine from the Chevrolet crossover family.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this Chevy Equinox LT for around $199 a month. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
It's Furniture World Superstore's incredible Memorial Day sale. Everyone knows that Memorial Day is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Furniture World's Memorial Day sale. Low holiday prices store-wide, half-off furniture for every room, and the lowest priced mattresses in Kentucky, plus 2 years interest-free. And you don't have to choose. You get both. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one, the Memorial Day sale at all Furniture World Superstore locations.
The E-Class has 11 intelligent driver assist systems. It recognizes pedestrians and alerts you. Warns you about incoming cross-traffic. Cameras and radar detect dangers you don't. And it can even stop by itself. So in this crash test, one thing's missing. A crash. The 2016 E-Class. Lease the E350 for $499 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
A season pass to Kentucky Kingdom is only $59.95. And with benefits like free parking and dollar drinks, a season pass pays for itself in just one visit. And enjoy the rest of the summer for free. Stop by your local Kroger store to get yours today. But hurry, offer ends soon.
Pick up fresh avocados or mangoes and get 10 for $10. And Heritage Farm chicken drumsticks or thighs are 88 cents a pound. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
Connecting with my friends, love it. Connecting with some sketchy guy from a blocked number who just called saying he's with a tech company that needs remote access to my computer to block a virus he detected. Really?
Hey, we hear you. That's why AARP created the Fraud Watch Network, to help you protect your family with information on the latest scams so you can spot fraud from a mile away.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
If your home could use a spring makeover, call Closets by Design. Call us today and receive up to 40% off. Plus, if you schedule your appointment this week, your installation is free. There's never been a better time to call. Get organized with Closets by Design.
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day on 100.1 WKQQ.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning at 6:14. We continue to track a developing international story this morning. Egyptian aviation officials say an Egypt Air flight from Paris to Cairo crashed into the Mediterranean Sea with 66 people aboard. Egypt's prime minister says it is too early to say whether it is a technical problem that has caused this or potentially a terror attack that has led to the plane crashing. He says nothing can be ruled out. The airline says the plane was lost from radar early this morning, about 10 miles after it entered Egyptian airspace. Now, we're staying on top of the story. We will have updates throughout the morning on our newscast and, of course, on WKYT.com.
Bernie Sanders is pressing ahead with his campaign despite a growing rift with the Democratic establishment. The Vermont senator is rejecting implications from party leaders that his camp encouraged violence at last weekend's Democratic convention in Nevada. Now, speaking from Ohio, Vice President Joe Biden downplayed the tension, saying he's confident Sanders will support Hillary Clinton if she should become the party's nominee. There's a showdown brewing on Capitol Hill over efforts to combat the Zika virus. Yesterday, House Republicans approved a $622 million bill to fight the disease. The White House is already planning to veto it. Now, the Obama administration requested almost $2 billion to fight Zika. The Senate passed its own version, offering $1.1 million. But the director of the CDC says none of these plans go far enough.
We need to start multi-year programs now to understand better what's the risk to mothers and children, to control mosquitoes better, to come up with better tools to fight mosquitoes and protect people.
The House bill is expected to come up for a vote today. Airlines are promising to do more to help move passengers through those packed airports. This comes as the TSA is under fire for long security lines. And the lines are only expected to get worse as the vacation season is ramping up. Last week, Congress approved $34 million to hire more TSA officers and pay overtime. But the head of the House Homeland Security Committee says that's not enough. He says he will introduce legislation to make the TSA more efficient. Many members of Congress say there should be better programs for recruiting and retaining TSA officers. Have a major issue with those officials there leaving those jobs. An Anchorage police officer and 3 Good Samaritans freed a driver from a fiery car crash. We take you up to Alaska for this one. The victim ended up on the passenger side of the vehicle after it rolled. His arm got stuck under the vehicle. A quick-thinking bystander busted out the sunroof, and then an officer and some bystanders started rocking the vehicle back and forth, and they were able to free the man as fire engulfed the car. Wow.
Impressive there. Your time now is 6:17. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and conservatives say they had a frank but constructive meeting. Zuckerberg wanted to build trust with Republicans after allegations surfaced that Facebook censors conservative topics on its trending section. Zuckerberg denies that ever happened. In a fight for equal pay, House of Cards actress Robin Wright used a move straight out of Claire Underwood's playbook. Wright learned in 2014 that Kevin Spacey was paid $500,000 per episode more than she was getting paid. Wright told producers she would go public about the pay disparity if it wasn't corrected, so they paid her. Uber is rolling out a new feature allowing you to track your family members' car rides in real time. Trip Tracker connects to people riding under your family profile, letting you know when they've left, their route, and when they've arrived. LinkedIn says that hackers are trying to sell email addresses and passwords of more than 100 million users. The New York Times says LinkedIn's announcement could mean that a massive 2012 data breach was larger than they first thought. Citing the tech website Motherboard, the Times reports that a hacker is asking for $2,200 for the data. And drink up. Kentucky bourbon production has swelled to a nearly 50-year high. Distilleries filled nearly 2 million bourbon barrels last year. That's the highest level since 1967. The Kentucky Distilleries Association says production was up 44% over 2014. So there you go, Bill. Drink up, right?
And
in this early morning hour.
Right. It's also a major part of the tourism business now in Kentucky, with all those bourbon distilleries offering those tours and so forth. A lot of folks are taking advantage of that. Hey, it's good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. 6:19 is our time on your Thursday. If you love Costco so much, why don't you marry it? This couple sort of did. Why they're enjoying some internet fame. Coming up in about 6 minutes or so after Micah's weather.
That's actually a pretty neat story. We have some fog outside early this morning. Afternoon looks fantastic. A lot of sunshine. Enjoy it while it lasts because here comes some rain tomorrow. We'll show you when it moves in coming up.
CBS Tonight is the comedy night of your dreams.
Hope this isn't a sex dream.
Starting with a Big Bang Theory and a new Odd Couple where Living with Oscar Madison.
The sports on?
Turns you into Oscar Madison.
Who's gonna clean that up? Not me.
Then
I need to what?
you need to watch the Mom season finale.
Thank you.
All that and another new Odd Couple. The whole night is a scream, and it all starts 8/7 Central, CBS Tonight.
After 18 years of hot flashes, I had had enough. My thyroid was non-functioning. Used to have a lot of trouble with fatigue. I had dry skin. I didn't sleep. My energy level is amazingly high. No more hot flashes. Body Shapes Medical has changed my life.
Attention Kentucky, Burke Furniture's semi-annual inventory reduction sale is going on now. A sale so great we can afford to slash prices this low only 2 times a year, up to 75% off name brand furniture. We must sell over $1 million of incredible inventory immediately. Sofas, recliners, bedroom and dining, and a huge selection of mattresses. Plus, get 0% interest for 12 months. Burke Furniture's semi-annual inventory reduction sale on Richmond Road behind Hardee's. Going on now.
At Window World, you get the best price right up front.
Not just any price.
Our lowest price.
Guaranteed. Our windows feature the Good Housekeeping seal.
And come with a lifetime limited warranty.
Act now and get a house full of windows for as low as $79 a month installed.
And save hundreds on siding, doors, shutters, and more.
Best products, best service, best people. Not only do we stand behind our windows, we stand on it.
Window World.
Preferred window installer of the Big Blue Nation.
Want to pay less for the #1 selling compact car? Honda's got it with the redesigned 2016 Civic. Civics cost less than the competition and come fully loaded for $179 a month. Looking for hot technology? Honda's got it with available Honda Lane Watch, forward collision warning, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and more. Want Civics for just $179 a month or drive with 0 down payment? Honda's got it this week at your Central Kentucky Honda dealers.
All right, come on, everybody, it's time to go.
Getting more for your money is simpler than you might think. When you shop at Kroger, you get low prices throughout the store, weekly specials, great value from our quality brands, digital coupons, and even fuel points to help you save at the pump. No spin, just savings.
Treat your family to sweet red cherries for just $2.99 a pound and boneless pork chops for $2.88 a pound. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
For the first time since I can remember and forever, I liked shopping because I liked how I looked in the clothes I tried on. So that's been really fun. The more you lose, the more you want to stick to it and do it, and that was my motivation.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Your time this morning right now is 6:22. A French surveillance jet has joined the search for an Egypt air flight that's apparently crashed in the Mediterranean Sea.
I want to keep you right up to the minute on this story, and that is what is trending at this hour. Egypt Air Flight 804 was carrying 66 people from Paris to Cairo when it disappeared early this morning. Egypt's prime minister says he cannot rule out the possibility of a terrorist attack that may have brought the plane down.
We will be in Alza County today, where we could hear testimony in the case against Lynette McQuinn. She's accused of killing her parents, John and Ada McQuinn, in their home near Boonville.
And Marquise Bolden will be announcing his college choice today. The top unsigned basketball prospect in the nation has reportedly narrowed down his list to Duke and Kentucky. Bolden will be making that announcement, highly anticipated, at 2:30 this afternoon. A little fog out there this morning, but we anticipate a nice day out there. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, if you have fog across the region, wait till about 8, 9 a.m. and all that should lift and get on out of here. Frankfort looks pretty good. We're having some low-level fog here in Lexington and also Jackson. You can see that off in the Valley region. Such a neat shot out in Breathitt County early this morning, seeing some of those valleys. Now, here's the deal. We go through the day. I don't have a very happy smiley face here on your emoji cast early this morning at 7 a.m. because it's 45 degrees. You got a little patchy fog here and there. So it's not feeling great outside, still a little bit chilly, but everybody's happy there by noontime. Guys, by 5 p.m. later on this afternoon, we're going to be sitting there in the low 70s, mostly sunny skies. We desperately need this sunshine, dry out that ground a little bit and knock out some of those ball field plans later on this afternoon, and also mowing your grass. I'm going to show you why you have to do it today. Be coming up in just a few minutes.
Nice to see that sunshine on the way, and it will be nice when it really gets here in just a little bit. 6:25 here in a couple of seconds. Scientists say thanks to a combination of global warming and an El Nino, planet Earth has shattered monthly heat records for an unprecedented 12th straight month.
Yeah, federal scientists say that in April, Earth's average temperature was 58.7 degrees. That's 2 degrees warmer than the 20th century average and well past the old record set in 2010. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the Southern Hemisphere led the way, with Africa, South America, and Asia all having their warmest Aprils on record. A soon-to-be married couple is enjoying some viral fame after shooting their engagement photos. Where else? At Costco.
Attention getting, right? Photos show the pair lovingly gazing into each other's eyes amid the tubs of butter, bulk meats, huge boxes of Cheez-Its and potato chips and so forth. The couple said they think engagement shoots always look awkward, so they wanted to shoot the pics somewhere that they both love and could just be themselves. And so they did.
And they did a good job of it, did they not?
That's right. How romantic, right?
I know. Now I'm thinking, where could I have shot my engagement photos? You never know.
I don't know about that. All right, our time is 6:26, Thursday morning on WKYT, and we're rolling toward the weekend. A lot of news coming right up.
How a group of musicians in Lexington paid tribute to Prince and his musical legacy.
Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot, $187 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $70 million. Keep it right here on WKYT This Morning.
WKYT is putting the new back in late news with newer stories and more updates. So there's less repetition, which means no wasted time. WKYT News at 11. Newer, fresher, worth staying up for.
Now at A&W, $2 any size floats. Crafted with made fresh in-house root beer and signature vanilla soft serve. For a limited time, any size float, just $2. Only at the new A&W.
How do you craft the world's finest bed? It starts with luxurious materials, with attention to every detail. For quality you can feel, the same quality you've come to expect at Sleep Outfitters, where now you can save up to $600 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 60 months. When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate everything we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, available at Sleep Outfitters.
All summer long, you'll road to refreshment leads to Speedway. And now that Speedway's grown throughout the Midwest, Northeast, and Southeast, nobody has a handle on your summer fun better than Speedway. From the sunny shores of Florida to New York City, from the Carolinas to the New England coast, your road to refreshment leads to Speedway. And now, Speedway's celebrating 25 years supporting Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Donate today.
We're on your way to convenience stores of Speedway.
Now, a 32-ounce Speedy Freezer fountain drink's just 89 cents.
This is the Mom Biz, and ladies, it's showtime. You've got soccer practice, swim meets, drum lessons, play dates, and all the other stuff that keeps your family humming. But you know what matters? The healthy stuff, full tummies. That's why you've got Lando Frost Premium Lunch Meat, a simple, protein-packed, good-form lunch. And that's how you get a mom groove. Groove with me now. Hey, Lando Frost, they're a family brand. You're a family. See what I'm getting at?
It's Furniture World Superstore's incredible Memorial Day sale. Everyone knows that Memorial Day is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Furniture World's Memorial Day sale. Low holiday prices store-wide, half off furniture for every room, and the lowest priced mattresses in Kentucky, plus 2 years interest-free. And you don't have to choose. You get both. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one, the Memorial Day sale at all Furniture World Superstore locations.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES350 for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Welcome to A&W, where we make it right every time. It's burgers grilled to order, it's juicy premium hand-breaded chicken tenders, and it's floats, crafted with our signature made fresh A&W root beer. Come see us at 4 Lexington locations.
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day on News Radio WLAP. This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. Good morning to you. It's your Thursday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's Thursday, May 19th, and it's going to be a warmer day.
And we have a lot going on this morning. Now at 6:30, developing international news on the search for a missing Egyptian plane that has disappeared after leaving Paris.
See the clues Lexington police are working with as they ask for your help in solving a deadly hit and run.
And post positions for the Preakness have been drawn, and we'll tell you where the Kentucky Derby winner will break from.
A patchy fog out there early this morning, and then we get into your afternoon. Afternoon looks fantastic. Sunny skies, temperatures there in the lower 70s, so a really good looking day in store. You gotta love it. The sunshine's here, but some rain moves back in tomorrow. I'm gonna go over exactly when you can expect that in your weekend forecast coming up.
And let's get you right up to the minute on the latest news. We begin with a developing international story this morning. Search and rescue teams are looking for an Egypt Air flight that has disappeared from radar this morning.
The flight took off from Paris but vanished minutes after entering Egyptian airspace. WKYT's Mark Barber is tracking down details this morning. Mark, what do we know at this point?
Good morning, Michelle. Well, we know that this flight crashed into the Mediterranean Sea. Egyptian aviation officials are saying that it is still too soon to say whether a terror attack or a technical problem caused the plane to crash. The plane was flying at 37,000 feet when it disappeared.
That's cruise altitude. Very, very few accidents occur at that altitude, less than 10%.
There were not any Americans on the flight that was carrying 66 people, including a child and 2 infants. As you can see, worried families are waiting for updates about the missing flight at Cairo's airport. As new information comes in by the minute on this developing story, we are closely watching several unconfirmed reports that the plane crashed 130 miles away from the Greek island of Carpathos. The flight left Paris last night and was supposed to land in Cairo around 3:15 this morning. Aviation officials say they heard from the pilot 10 minutes before the plane disappeared, but they never received a distress call. This morning's search for the plane comes less than 2 months after an Egypt Air flight was hijacked by a mentally unstable man and diverted to Cyprus. As we continue to follow the international investigation into this missing flight this morning, we're hoping to learn more about the search for survivors and the cause of the crash soon. In 30 minutes, Egyptian aviation officials are planning to give an update from their crisis center at Cairo's airport. Bill?
All right, thank you. And of course, we anticipate that CBS This Morning will have the very, very latest coming up, and of course, that live coverage as well, starting at 7 o'clock this morning. We'll keep you updated if any new information comes in. Locally, a special memorial honoring the life of a fallen Richmond police officer will be unveiled in Madison County today. Under the order of the Kentucky General Assembly, a portion of US 25, actually a part of Main Street there in Richmond, will be designated Officer Daniel Ellis Memorial Highway. Officer Ellis was shot and killed in the line of duty in November. Over the weekend, he was among 5 other fallen officers to have their name engraved in the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Here's a story that has a lot of people talking. Letcher County wants to be exempted from potential federal transgender bathroom regulation. WKYT's Caitlin Center is at our live desk this morning to explain why. Caitlin?
Good morning, Michelle. It's a new federal guidance that has Letcher County officials up in arms. They want people to use the bathroom that matches the gender on their birth certificates and not their gender identity. County officials are speaking out after the Obama administration directed schools to allow transgender students to use bathrooms matching their gender identity. They want to know if it's possible to pass a law exempting them from a potential federal bathroom access law. Some in the county fear the new guideline opens the door to sexual abuse, while others say the community there is one based on love and welcoming others.
But we need to make sure that those are our priorities and not fear and misunderstanding and lack of education.
The Letcher County Fiscal Court has asked the county attorney to see what options they have legally, although it's not yet clear how they would enforce a bathroom law. At the live desk, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now moving on to weather, we're off to a cool start, but there's some good news in the forecast, at least for today, right?
At least today. It looks really nice out there after the fog lifts away. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris to help you plan your day.
Yeah, it's a little foggy out there early this morning like you guys were just talking about 8 or 9 a.m. you'll start to see that fog lift. And once it lifts, above that fog, if you can't see through the fog now, above it, plenty of sunshine. Just check out my picture there in Jackson. Valley fog, above that, plenty of sunny skies. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning once that fog does get on out of here. 47 degrees there in London-Corbin area. It's kind of a cool start. It's not feeling great outside, but this afternoon it will, I promise you that. We're going to see about a 30-degree swing from morning to afternoon. So it's one of those days you're like, man, I got to take a coat along with me early this morning and then throw it in my back seat later on this afternoon. It is one of those days. 73 degrees, extremely nice conditions today. We slide off into your day tomorrow and in towards your weekend. The rain does return. I'm going to show you when it moves on in, how that's going to affect a lot of these plans. We have Bike Lexington coming up Saturday morning and plenty of festivals, plenty of events. I'm going to go over that forecast, show you exactly when I expect that rain to move in coming up.
Thank you, Micah. Lexington police are renewing their call for help in finding the driver behind a deadly hit and run. Police say 52-year-old Roger Morrison died nearly a month ago after being hit on New Circle Road near Industry Road. Look at the car on the right side of this picture. Police are looking for that driver. As weeks continue to pass, Morrison's family tells us they just want answers.
How could somebody do that to him and just leave him there? What gets me the most is if he was the person who accidentally hit somebody, he would have got out and helped. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have kept running or fleeing and evading and all that, but somebody did it to him.
Morrison says her family put up a memorial near the spot where her uncle died, but it disappeared, and she says they do plan to put up another one.
A Franklin County judge has ruled in favor of Governor Matt Bevin, saying he can cut the current budget of public colleges and universities. The judge says 2 state laws allow the governor to reduce allotments without the legislature's approval. Attorney General Andy Beshear sued the governor over the cuts, and he says he will appeal the judge's ruling and seek to have the state Supreme Court weigh in. The judge did order that the $18 million in disputed money cannot be touched until all appeals have been resolved. That ruling comes as the Kentucky Community and Technical College System announces it is cutting 500 positions. KCTCS President Jay Box calls the decision gut-wrenching, but he said with declining enrollment and years of cuts in state funding, the system is facing a huge financial shortfall. About 200 of the positions are faculty. 300 others are staff members. The case against 2 teenagers connected to a 17-year-old's murder has been sent to a grand jury. That's according to the Harrodsburg Herald this morning. Police have charged 18-year-old Megan Sims and 18-year-old Zachary Lay with evidence tampering. Police say the victim, 17-year-old Tristan Cole, was found shot to death in a Mercer County field last month. They have charged a juvenile with murder and robbery in the case.
Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes and Donald Trump are going after each other on Twitter. In a tweet, the presumptive GOP presidential nominee questioned why Grimes called the Kentucky Democratic primary for Hillary Clinton Tuesday night when the Associated Press was still reporting that it was too close to call. Grimes replied to Trump's tweet saying, quote, "Because I can count." Grimes has been an avid supporter of Clinton and has attended several of her rallies around the state. Clinton won the primary over Bernie Sanders by less than 2,000 votes.
Nearly a month after the sudden death of Prince, fans of the music superstar have been celebrating his life. Well, there they were having some fun, enjoying the music at the Manchester Music Hall in downtown Lexington last night. Dozens of artists performed a special Prince tribute concert. Dressed in all purple, and many that we spoke with say it was a good chance to celebrate one of the greatest musicians of all time.
He touched lives everywhere. My first concert was Prince at the Rupp Arena, and I'm here to party like it's 1999.
You get it, right? Lots of folks certainly enjoyed that and reliving those memories. 22 local artists performed at last night's concert, all of them playing free of charge.
If you have Time Warner Cable, listen up. The company is about to be bought. Charter Communications agreed to buy the company last year, but the deal was just recently cleared by antitrust regulators. Charter says its Spectrum brand will replace the Time Warner Cable brand over the next year and a half. The name Time Warner will be phased out and will eventually be known as Charter Communications. So it will be a field of 11 for Saturday's Preakness race.
We now know more about it. Kentucky Derby winner Nyquist is the 3-5 favorite. Here's the field. Nyquist will break from post position 3. Exaggerator, the runner-up in the Derby, is the second choice at 3-1 and will break from post 5. Bob Baffert trains Collected, who is at 10-1. He won the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland. Nyquist has been in 9 races and he has won them all. He will try to remain undefeated Saturday in the second leg of the Triple Crown. And so many people saying, could we have 2 Triple Crowns back-to-back? We'll see.
Can you imagine? And I think Nyquist goes under the radar because of American Pharaoh's success last year.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then, you know, and what a finish it was at the Derby. So it could be an exciting weekend. 6:40 is the time now, 20 before 7.
Let's check to see how traffic's moving along so far this morning.
Here's Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, the collision on the inner loop of Man-O-War just past Tate's Creek is over to the right. Not going to be a problem. They moved it into the shopping center there just a couple of minutes ago, so we're okay there. I-75 north and southbound looks okay. We could have reduced visibility because of fog in places, so be aware of that. As far as our traffic flow is concerned right now, we can get a live look outside and show you what's happening on the interstate, on a circle, and downtown. Not a whole lot of red showing up, so that's a good sign. As far as our drive times go right now, nothing really holding us up on the interstate. Just check 64 coming in from Clark County and Mount Sterling, and we're okay there. About 22 minutes from Winchester to Lexington, about 30 minutes from Mount Sterling. Nicholasville still holding at 13. Now back to you.
All right, looks like you can get there this morning. Enjoy it.
So far, right?
Enjoy that sunshine. You know, find your sunglasses. It's been a while since you've needed them, right? Our time this morning, 6:41, and a lot more news is coming up on WKYT on your Thursday.
Most people are looking for a little privacy when they go to the bathroom, but one woman had some unexpected company.
And we'll tell you what had to be removed from the toilet there.
What could this be?
It's coming up for you after weather from Micah.
I think I'll stick around and listen to that story. We'll see. A wet weekend in store. Awesome day today. Ugly day for tomorrow. I'm going to get into that forecast coming up next.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
Now at A&W, $2 any size floats. Crafted with made fresh in-house root beer and signature vanilla soft serve. For a limited time, any size float, just $2. Only at the new A&W.
Here's a fun way to control your luck. It's a game called Keno. You can start with $1. You pick your numbers, your odds, and your wager. And the winnings, well, they could be major. Just pick your numbers and hope you win. A few minutes later, you can play it again. Now play Keno wherever Kentucky lottery games are sold.
Our Move Some Metal in May sale is back at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond. Without the door deals on everything. Get a new Buick Verano for $19,655. A new Buick Encore now $20,995. Save over $7,000 on a new Buick LaCrosse now $29,600. Or get a new Buick Enclave for $39,700. Plus get the Adams Advantage, a limited lifetime powertrain warranty. We're out to move some metal in May at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, where
Sid says sell them.
You never know when you're going to have plumbing issues. When you have plumbing problems, there's only one company to call, H2O Maestro. All plumbing jobs, big or small, clogs, leaks, or repairs, we're everywhere in central Kentucky, 24/7, 365. Need a new water heater or interested in a water filtration system? Call now for a free estimate. H2O Maestro, a Fayette Heating and Air Company. Same grade 24/7 service you expect for plumbing.
Fight heartburn fast with Tums Chewy Delights. The mouth-watering soft chew that goes to work in seconds to conquer heartburn fast. Chewy Delights, only from Tums.
All right, come on everybody, it's time to go.
Getting more for your money is simpler than you might think. When you shop at Kroger,
you get low prices throughout the store, weekly specials, great value from our quality brands, digital coupons, and even fuel points to help you save at the pump. No spin, just savings.
Treat your family to sweet red cherries for just $2.99 a pound and boneless pork chops for $2.88 a pound. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
$5 for free. Yep. Visit any of our 4 Lexington A&W locations and earn $5 when you register your A&W rewards card. The easiest, most delicious $5 ever. Only at A&W. Burgers, chicken, floats.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on News Radio 630 WLAP. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Pretty nasty fog around town, and most locations east and south, that's where we're seeing most of that fog. Some of these airports reading 0 miles at this moment if you're going down 64. Now, we heard from Officer Don, not much going on the roadways, but it's going to be a slow go at it trying to travel through 64 and also 460 corridor, Mountain Parkway. If you work your way down toward the far southern half, 27, 127, there will be spots that you're going to be running into. Also, that 68 corridor as it wraps off into Taylor County out of Marion County. Those are areas that we're seeing out at the airports reading some foggy spots. Jackson, check that out. How cool is that? Now, when we were looking at this an hour ago, that fog was really down in the valleys, but now it's starting to lift, and once it lifts, it withers away, okay? You get that mixing going on, so that'll get it on out of there here in the next hour or two. Lexington, we've had some bits and pieces of fog. Just got to watch out for that. Really nice day in store. Chilly this morning, bump that up 30 degrees. Now we're talking about low, possibly mid-70s later on this afternoon. Really nice day, mostly sunny skies. Let's fast forward into tomorrow. Waking up tomorrow morning, let's say the morning hours, kids going off to school, you heading out to work, I don't see much of a chance of rain during that time. Then we get towards, say, noontime. Noontime, there is a small chance, but it's really the afternoon. Watch the afternoon. Rain starts to move on in, and we'll get some widespread showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. And it kind of depends on where you live. If you live toward Frankfort, back toward Shelbyville, the farther west you are, closer toward Louisville, better likelihood of not picking up that much rain, around 1/4 inch. But if you're in eastern and southeastern Kentucky, you're talking about 1 to 2 inches of rain. That's the best bet for that corridor of heavy rain to move on in. And you see by the evening hours still some rain left over. So it's just going to be spotty on and off as we go throughout your Friday and towards your Saturday. Bike Lexington, a big event here in Lexington with thousands of bikers. And remember, they have some races, some fun activities starting off at 8 a.m. for the kiddos too. I'm going to take my little man down there and we should have a good old time. But yeah, by 8 a.m. when festivities start, you're at 50 degrees. A few showers laying around. Remember, this on Saturday, no thunderstorms. This on Saturday is some light rain, spotty, hit and miss. I would take off. I would not just miss out because there's a rain chance, because it's not widespread there Saturday morning. So if you're trying to do all these events going on, remember you got the Spring Fling there in Paintsville. You also have that Relay for Life Friday night in Woodford County into Saturday morning. A lot of events going on. I would say stick with the events. Just know you will have some passing showers and a few rumbles of thunder Friday and a few passing showers there on Saturday. Saturday, not so much a washout. Friday, yeah, with some of those thunderstorms, you can get some heavy rain out of that. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, guys, looks pretty good.
Okay, we'll put up a little rain tomorrow. We should be okay. Thank you, Micah. We're going to enjoy today, right?
Yes, we are.
Then is this story.
Yeah. We've shown you videos of snakes in toilets, but this is a new one. The San Diego County Department of Animal Services had to rescue a baby possum from a toilet.
They posted pictures of the soaked little one on Facebook. There it is. A woman called them for help after finding that little critter down in her toilet. A second possum was later found in the home, along with a broken window, which is likely how the little guys got inside. An Animal Services director says both the possums are doing okay once removed from there.
I would have to move. What
really?
If you found, yes, if I saw that in my toilet, I would have to call you or Mike and say, can you come to my house and get this out? I wouldn't get anywhere near that thing.
And that would be it, huh? You'd put the place up for sale.
Maybe I'd sell it to possum lovers and they'd give me a good price.
You'd probably have to disclose, you know, there was once a possum in the toilet. Interesting story. All right, 6:49 is our time on WKYT, 11 before 7. And coming up, our top stories this morning.
More news when we come back.
Coming up, the latest on the Egypt Air jetliner that vanished between Paris and Cairo. We'll talk with aviation analyst Captain Sully Sullenberger. Plus, Vice President Joe Biden's emotional note to his younger self. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Mothers can donate breast milk online and they can get it for free. It's a growing trend, but is it safe?
You would not walk up to an absolute stranger on the street and say, give me a unit of blood.
Breast milk donations tonight at 6 on WKYT.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
My family had fun on vacation. Here are a few things we did.
She went to Pigeon Forge. Lucky.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
Look, this isn't easy for me either, but it just feels right.
This isn't how we raised you.
You never wanted to try it.
Enough.
You must have known I was a little different.
Not this different.
Start your own legacy with the power of Infinity. Lease the QX50 for $319 a month at your local Infinity retailer.
Kentucky lottery sales have funded grants and scholarships for over 500,000 Kentucky college students. So every time you play, the Commonwealth wins.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
When cigarette cravings hit, all I can think about is getting relief.
Only Nicorette Mini has a patented fast-dissolving formula. It starts to relieve sudden cravings fast.
I never know when I'll need relief. That's why I only choose Nicorette Mini.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
Good morning again. Welcome back to WKYT this morning at 6:52, 8 minutes ahead of CBS This Morning at 7. Prosecutors in Paris say they have now opened an investigation into the crash of an Egypt airplane that was flying from Paris to Cairo when it went down in the Mediterranean Sea early this morning.
There were 66 people aboard the flight. Egypt's prime minister says he can't rule out the possibility that a terrorist attack brought the plane down. We have learned that there were no Americans on board. CBS This Morning will have the latest on the investigation coming up at the top of the hour.
Some Letcher County school officials are considering banning transgender people from using restrooms that do not match their gender at birth. Just last week, the Obama administration sent letters to schools nationwide telling them to let transgender students use bathrooms that match their gender identity. Letcher County's fiscal court has asked the county attorney to study the possibility of the county passing a local law exempting the county from any federal regulation that opens the door for transgender restroom access. County officials say any law that passes would affect the county-owned buildings, but they also say that at this point they are not sure how they would enforce it.
New federal filings released this week show that Donald Trump has invested in some of the companies that he rails against on the campaign trail because they've outsourced jobs. The presumptive Republican nominee reported holding investments in companies such as Ford, Apple, and the parent company of the maker of Oreo cookies. The investments make up only a tiny fraction of Trump's reported net worth, $4 billion. Watch a farmer rescue a baby alpaca who got stuck in a hole and tried not to wonder, how in the world did this thing get stuck in the hole, right? The farmer uses a shovel to dig around the tiny animal, who is literally up to its neck in trouble, but he seems pretty chill about it. Meanwhile, the mama alpaca hovers around in the background, The little guy gets pulled out and reunited with his mom. And all is right with the world.
Yeah, it ends well. Mom was not about to lose sight of her young one there, huh? 6:54 on WKYT, and right now on WKYT.com, we're staying right on top of developments as the search and rescue teams look for that Egypt air flight that has disappeared from radar overnight. Confirmed to be a crash now. A criminal investigation just opened up. That word coming in just minutes ago. Now, we'll keep you updated on air and online as the questions and desperation grow. A judge has ruled that Governor Matt Bevin can cut state money for higher education from the current year budget. The Attorney General is promising an appeal. We have the full story about that online. The state's community college system cutting 500 positions and suspending some programs. It is facing a huge shortfall, blamed on declining enrollments and years of state cuts. From Purple Rain to 1999, the sounds of Prince rang out from a Lexington venue last night. About 400 people turned out at the Manchester Music Hall to relive memories of the pop icon Prince, who died about a month ago. We have that story uploaded for you this morning, sort of a feel-good story with lots of memories for lots of folks. We'll be watching for today's big decision by the top unsigned basketball prospect in the country. Marquise Bolden apparently has it down now to Kentucky or Duke. That's anticipated at 2:30 this afternoon, his decision. Kentucky bourbon continuing to show strong growth. Kentucky.com with the story of bourbon production being up 44%. Almost 1.9 million barrels were filled last year. And CBS This Morning is coming up shortly with your eye opener. Obviously a very busy morning there at the CBS Broadcast Center as they'll bring you the latest on the plane crash in the Mediterranean. And we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram. And for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Check traffic, not seeing any issues whatsoever, but if you're traveling 64 from Lexington all the way toward Ashland or toward, say, Montgomery County, Bath County, Rowan County, those areas, that's where we're seeing some pretty dense fog out and about. So heads up for that, and that's not just in that region. That's in many locations. Look at Jackson as that fog tries to lift. Temperatures in the mid-40s. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but once we hit the afternoon hours, we jump that. Bump it up about 30 degrees. So it's going to be a big jump of temperatures. And one way you can do that is just you actually get some sunshine in here. And we're finally doing that today. Everybody's been asking on Twitter, Facebook, emails, can I please get some sunshine? So there you go. This is my present to you before the weekend. 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Guys, it looks really good today. Knock out the mowing today because rain returns the next 24 hours.
All right, everybody will step a little higher today, you know?
That's right.
Hey, nobody is more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you for being with us on WKYT.
CBS This Morning is next. Have a great day, everyone.